welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Vortex, the first of the Combaticons. Woo! So you can see him there in front of the box. We'll go and put him off the side real quick. Yes, it is an Age of the Primes box. You can see right here, he transforms Age of the Primes. You got Vortex there in both his vehicle mode and his robot mode there. You got 1 of 5 for Bruticus, 19 steps, and Hasbro and Vortex down there and all that stuff. Up here he says Combaticon Vortex and Takara Tomy. On the side, hey, here's our first look at Bruticus right there. Then, of course, at this point, by the time you see this video, well, of course, they've already shown off Blast Off and Brawl as well, and a render of Onslaught. So, we're getting there. On this side, hey, you have some Age of the Primes Prime statues right there in Deluxe Class right there, and it says All R1. On the bottom, of course, it has some manufacturing details of what's included in the box, and, of course, on the back, you have some product shots, some more copyrights and warnings, and yeah, there you go. That. And it comes, of course, with some instructions, which are pretty straightforward because it's not exactly a difficult transformation. Well, there's one thing they kind of tell you to do, which is like, you don't really need to do that, but whatever. So, Vortex. Getting in close right here, you can see Vortex. Yeah, he's got his very Vortex-y face of the monovisor with the kind of the mouth-plated face, kind of the squared-off head, because the combiner, way back when the combiner heads were also combiner pegs. You got his, gray and blue right there. You got the Decepticon symbol on the shoulder. You got his, I guess, engine bits or whatever on the sides of his shoulders. Coming down, you got some more blue, some blacks on the, for the shins, feet and everything. It's all gray. You can see, he's got some, well, at this point, some, bits missing right now. He's also got these massive, he's got these massive things hanging off his arms. Unfortunately, that's a bit of a thing. So, yeah. Back, yeah. So, Vortex here looks overall pretty darn good, except for, the biggest thing is just simply these massive bits of just kibble hanging off his arms. They kind of get in the way a little bit, which is it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's like, what else are you going to do? But, I mean, where else are they going to go? This is not exactly like a $100 masterpiece figure. This is a $25 deluxe. There's only so much you can do with those. The other thing, which is, he's got the helicopter blades, which are supposed to be on his back. You spread them out like that. Unfortunately, I wish there was a kind of a soft, like, click point. Like I remember with MMC's Vortex has the click point there, but this one doesn't have that, so it's very easy to actually spread these. And of course, this is supposed to go on his back because, yep, that's where it goes. Just got on his back, like that, and stays there. And there you go. That's a much more complete picture. Now, as for articulation, though, his head. Should have popped up his head. It's on the ball joints. You got left and right. You got up and down. You got lots of waggle. Shoulders can do a 360. All you go watch the propeller blades a bit, particularly with the kibble. There, you do have outward right there. You do have a bicep swivel, although this will come with it. Bicep swivel right there. You do have elbows, which are about 90 degrees. So this will come with it. There's nothing at the wrist because of how he transforms. There's not a lot of room there. There is a waist swivel right there. Hips can go forward that far and back that far outward. They can do the full splits and then some. You do have a thigh swivel. Knees are pretty much 90 degrees. Although, this bit kind of catches on both his crotch, which kind of kills it a little bit. And then down here at the feet, you do have ankle tilt, quite a bit of ankle tilt. And because of transformation and stuff, also he's got a bit of back on his foot and also some toe and heel joints as well. I'm not sure what the purpose of the back there is, but yeah, that back joint is. I'm just looking, just don't understand what it's for. The other cool thing is, because of all this stuff, you can actually, kind of bring these down a bit and kind of somewhat simulate his, G1 self a little bit with the kind of the helicopter, the helicopter tail being his hands. You kind of simulate that a little bit, but let's get kind of the shoulder bit right here has to get out of the way for that. But yeah, overall, the biggest thing here is just simply the unfortunate bit of just the stuff hanging off his arms. That's the only real problem I feel with this guy. Otherwise than that, he is really good. As for accessories, he does have 3 guns. 2 of them look like this, just mirrored. Like this, you got this hollow bit right there. You got this tab, tab on one side, so mirrored. So tabs are opposite each other. And those, of course, those are his arm cannons. You can't put them in his hand, but you can also, put them on his arms where they belong. That's where they go. And of course, he's got this gun as well, which, yep, that is the main gun. You got tabs on both sides and the scope and everything. That just goes in his hand, like that. The one thing they do show you in the instructions, which, yeah, I guess, but I don't like to do this because this thing is kind of, well, at least initially when I got it, was a bit of a pain to push in and out. But the helicopter blade can be mounted in any 5mm peg hole. And, like, I guess you can use this as a bit of a melee weapon of sorts, although, again, now it's, like, getting caught on everything. But you can do that. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck. Because when I first got this thing did not want to peg in anywhere. It's gotten a lot better, but, yeah. It went in there real secure. Yeah. Yeah, it's Vortex overall for... his accessories and everything. He's just a really good Vortex for the most part. Just, again, the big thing, the arm kibble is the big problem. That's the only real big problem he has, is the arm kibble. Which I'm not sure if there's anyone who's going to figure out how to, you know, alleviate that, but we'll see. As for comparisons, I'm not going to really do a whole lot here. Here he is with Studio Series 86 Optimus, just to give you an idea there. So, yep. That's, you know, seems to be about right overall. And, well, here he is with Combiner Wars Vortex. Yeah, remember that? Yeah, the whole sharing with Alpha Bravo and everything, and the greens and all that stuff. Funny enough, actually, this one's a bit taller. Funny enough, I think. And of course, now we're at a weird point because, well, because now it's been a decade since Combiner Wars. So, now people are nostalgic for Alpha Bravo, you know, the guy that this was based on. So now people want an Alpha Bravo repaint of Vortex. I'm like, oh, come on. People, I remember everyone is either they didn't care or they hated him. I don't remember anyone actively liking Alpha Bravo. They just kind of just accepted him, or, you know, it's kind of quiet acceptance or hatred. And now people want, now he's old enough, now he's old enough, so people are nostalgic for him, want a new Alpha Bravo. Go figure. Anyway. Yeah, that's it's Vortex's robot mode. It's pretty darn good. Yeah, so I gotta go ahead and get him into vehicle mode. So of course got to take his guns off his arms and out of his hand, like that. Now the thing is, these instructions tell you to pull the blades off. You don't really have to do that. So first thing is take the head, rotate it 180 degrees like so. Bring out this landing gear bit, and then there's a little like piece right here you want to bring out of the backpack and get around his head. I'm going to get that around his head like that, and that'll cover up his face, which is pretty nice. And then right here you want to go ahead and rotate these bits up like that, and then collapse the armature, the kibble onto the arm, and do the same thing. Rotate this bit up and collapse this onto the arm. That just gets things nice and out of the way. Right here, what you want to do is then rotate this 90 degrees to get that out of the way. You can collapse these as well, just to get that more further out of the way, if you don't want to remove it, like I don't. And then right here, what you want to do is take the feet and, you know, close those up right there, like that. Make sure it's all straightened out. Tab the legs together, like that. Then open up the shins, like that. Collapse the legs into them like cells like this. Close this back up. Make sure that right here it tabs in like that. Then you go ahead and rotate this back like this. Make sure this part right here is the front and not this part. You can see the difference. This one has a little weird vent thing in the back. And then right here, what you want to do is take the arms here and you want to rotate them so they're facing like this and bring them back like so. That. And then same thing here, rotate it like this and bring it out and back. This, and then right here you want to take this tail piece and bring it around like this, and then I'll bring the tail pieces together and tab them together. Like that. Make sure tab those together like so. And then take this little tail bit right here, make sure to rotate it like this. It'll kind of click into place like that. And of course, if you mess with the this at all, just rotate the blades back, and there you go. That is Vortex in its vehicle mode. Yeah, vehicle mode here is, well, it's a helicopter, all right. Again, it's kind of trying to straddle that line. It's very much trying to be somewhat cartoon accurate, although it is taking some liberties, considering the cartoon accuracy kind of is a weird, goofy thing. Like you have a more rounded off in the front versus, you know, like this. But you know, it does look like a helicopter. It's nice windows picked out with some black and silver trim right there. You got the blue stripe down the middle. There is some silver here on this bit of the helicopter blades, and then like yeah, some blue right here, including the blue fake landing gear like that. And then you guys, of course, got the rotors, which go wee after it spins really nicely. This one, it doesn't spin as great, unfortunately. It spins, but not very well. So there's that. You can see some molded in landing gear right there, and of course the landing gear comes out of the head right there like that. So yeah, overall it's not a bad looking helicopter, but it's not amazing looking either. It takes some liberties, and particularly, I mean, right here, just kind of like you got stuff like just cutting off and everything. Smart of them to have a little piece solely dedicated to, you know, hiding the robot mode head. But of course, also you can take the guns, you know, these guns, and these attach right here. There's little slots right here, like that. You can attach these to those little tab those into little slots right there. And this gun right here can also, rather than being attached to the front, there's little slots on the other side of the nose, and you can just attach it to that via these tabs. Yeah, it seems a little off because, well, now it's not in the middle like it's supposed to. You can have it like that. You can have like these up like instead of right here. You can have them back like here, and so on and so forth. You can have this upside down. You can have it side by side, whichever. But there is no real way. Well, you can tab it to the other side. That's the thing. There are tab slots, but the problem is that it makes it, well, now he can't sit like that because, well, yeah, that's kind of too low. But yeah, it's the best you can. That's the closest you can get to actually, like, well, if you do it like this, this is like the closest you get to actually having like a center gun. Is that, and that's not quite right. Some of these, it's like weird because there's this big long slot right here, and these little tabs, like they kind of expect you to, for this to hold in place really well, but it doesn't hold in super great. It's like it's fine, well enough, but yeah, any sort of heavier play or whatever is gonna cause those to fall off pretty easily. So again, overall, it's not exactly. It's pretty good overall. Yeah, just generally good overall. Just kind of wish they kind of handled the guns a little bit differently. So there's that. Now, as for some comparisons, again, here's Studio Series 86 Optimus right here. Give an idea, size, different discrepancies there. And here's the original, here's the Combiner Wars Vortex, just right there. Yeah, a bit of a different idea regarding the Vortex, wasn't there? There you go. Yeah, so that's the alt mode. So, combined mode, yes. This I talked about this a little bit in the Silverbolt review, but yeah, they kind of revamped things a little bit from, I'm going to remove these, just makes this a little easier on myself. But they kind of revamped things a little bit from, you know, the Menasor days. So yeah, they've kind of decided to standardize some stuff, including, yeah, this bit right here. This is one of Superion's arms. Just gonna show this off, but yeah, because of how he works, yeah, he goes on the opposite direction from the aerial bots. Yeah, you just peg and tab him on, and make sure it's, you know, fully seated. You want to probably flip that. I almost forgot, flip the landing gear right here up. Make sure it's fully seated, like that, and then just split. Because I know people can complain about how difficult this is to split, and I've been having mine was kind of easy initially. Now it's like doesn't want to split, so I don't know what happened. There we go. I don't think this was. Yeah, I don't think this problem. I think that, oh yeah, this wasn't tabbed in all the way right here on the back. So what was happening was it wasn't fully disconnecting from there. But yeah. Yeah, there you can see, you know, that's how he's going to attach to Bruticus eventually. Oh, something, whatever Bruticus is wind up looking like. Interestingly, it looks like they're going to want you to do stuff. So, like, yep, they're probably going to want you to, you know, do the good old flip stuff down or something up here or something. I'm not sure. They're going to probably want you to do some more transformation up here entirely. But, yeah, and of course, you can leave the guns, you know, attached, or at least you probably can reattach the guns because you'll probably want to remove them just for the sake of, you know, just not just for the sake of not, you know, having them fly off somewhere. But yeah, Yeah, if you get this fully attached, you know, so this is all tabbed in, then this actually does separate pretty nicely. Well, that's for some reason, this was the first time I ever had struggled with this. Every single time it cooperated, except of course the time on camera. Because yeah, people have complained Vortex is really difficult to separate. Because to the point of people saying recommending to pre-separate it instead of doing it the way they intended. Because yeah, but yeah, there you go. See, yeah, that was the problem, was I didn't have this fully. So that's one of the things. If you're actually having difficulty, you might want to make sure that, you know, the thing you have it fully attached to the arm piece. Yeah, that's the combined mode stuff. Again, down the line we'll see, and I'm gonna probably have to with Bruticus show off the full thing. But yeah, they I guess changing things up. I'm not sure how the legs are gonna work yet, because we know at this point, I believe we know that. The Bruticus arms, considering we have seen Brawl now, they confirm he's a Voyager. I think the Bruticus legs are going to be a bit different from Superion's. I'm wondering how that's going to be cross-compatible. Might stick with, you have to, you know, replace the whole, you know, swap the whole leg piece instead of, like this, we can just swap the, figure. But, yeah. So, that's Age of the Prime's Vortex. Overall, the only real problem I have with him, honestly, is just the arm kibble is a little annoying. And I wish I wish it could have cleaned up better. I wish I would maybe just, you know, maybe just optional removal thing rather than, you know, I think it's on like it might be a friction hinge. I think it's just a friction hinge, but I'd rather have like a kind of official optional removal, maybe like storage and thing, just as a, you know, as an option. That would have been nice, but yeah. Not the end of the world, but still a little annoying. The arm cable is a little annoying, but the transformations, you know, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's nothing too, you know, out there overall. I wish the helicopter blade had, you know, I wish the helicopter rotor had more of a, like a soft detent point for, you know, being fully spread out. But, you know, because as it is, when you spin it, sometimes it's really easy for it to kind of get it knocked out of whack. Yeah, see, it's already shifted a little bit, but, yeah. And of course it combining, at least mine, once you get it fully tabbed in, once you get it fully tabbed and pegged into the arm piece, it will separate pretty nicely for the combined mode. But yeah, it's overall pretty solid, I think. It's a pretty good, solid, and pretty good showing for Bruticus, and I'm really, because I love Bruticus a lot. You're going to see another Vortex pretty shortly, actually. I really like Bruticus a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for what they're going to do for Age of the Prime's Bruticus. Pretty excited to see how that's going to work out. So, yeah. Yeah, this is our first taste of it, but it's going to be a while before we see the other 4 members, but soon, I guess. We've seen 2 of them. We've seen a render of the 3rd one, and well, so far we have not seen Swindle. But probably will soon. So yeah, that's yeah, Vortex here is good. He's a good figure, and I rather like him. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee, my Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.